Hello and welcome back to another Django tutorial. In this tutorial, we're going to actually install Git. If you don't have Git, make sure you follow along this tutorial. If you do have it, you can skip to the next tutorial. I know I did say we're going to start building some Django in this tutorial, but completely forgot about one of the most important things, and that's Git. What is Git? It's a version control system which allows us to track our changes to our projects. So if we were working in Django and we screwed something up, we can always revert back to the previous commit. It's called in Django, but what it's doing is taking like a screenshot of our file structure and our files. So what we can do is go back if we screw up and start from our last commit. So that's a pretty cool feature because if we screw up a project, you don't want to have to start all over again. So it gives us the ability to go back in time. So it's kind of like a time machine. So Git keeps everything local on your computer. There's ways to commit it out to other means, a server or other people. But for in our case, we're just going to keep it local on our machine and allow us to go back if we do screw up, because we do screw up. One other thing I want to mention to you is there's so much to Git that I can't possibly teach you. It would be its own tutorial series. They teach you everything about Git. So I would suggest that you go to Git /scm and read the documentation. They also have this, you can learn Git in your browser for free with Try Git. I've never tried it, but hey, maybe it'll be a feature that you can learn a lot about Git, because Git is a very powerful tool that every programmer should know. So make sure you check it out. Otherwise, we're going to download Git, we're going to set it up, and then throughout our tutorial series, I'll show you how to use Git when we need to. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm doing this on a Mac, so you see it says downloads for Mac. I don't know if Windows and Linux is any different. I think Linux you got to install from the command line, and I'm not sure about Windows. So just visit git-scm.com and check out their documentation if you're not sure. So let's get Git for Mac. So I'm going to go ahead and download it. And just waiting for it to start. And I'll actually pause the video until it does start. Alright, so mine's done downloading. So I'm just waiting for the install to start here. And then the package opens up. I'm just going to double click on it to start it. Well, I should have clicked on it once because now I got two installers going crazy. Alright, so I got a cannot open because it's from an unidentified developer. One way to get around this is, I'm just going to click OK for a second. Open up your system preferences. And, geez, there we go. And then accessibility, I believe it's in. Nope, not in there. Alright, hold on. I haven't done this in so long. Security, I'm sorry. And under here, it says allowed apps downloaded from Mac App Store, Mac App Store identified developers, or anywhere. In this case, we're going to have to click and open anyway. All right. So this is going to start the install process. We'll just hit continue. I'm going to put it on my main hard and install. And your password, so I'll put in password. And I'll pause it until it's done installing. Now that you got your Git installed, there's also a GUI version of this. We're not going to use that, but if you prefer to use a graphical user interface one, look on Git's website. There's a way to get it. But what we need to do is set up our identity. So we're going to do git config -- global user name, and I'm just going to say Tom. All right. Now we need to set up our password, or not a password, our email. Git config -- global. Sorry, my son's screaming. User.email, and that's going to be Tom Myers to yahoo.com. Alright, so we got this set up. Now, if you want to set up your editor to work with Git, which I suggest you do, this would be git config -- global core editor. And in our case, I'm using Atom, so I put in Atom. Google which browser or text editor you're using to set that up. All right, and that's pretty much it. You're pretty much checked out. You could do something like this: git config -- list, and it'll give you a bunch of information about you. User Tom Myers, and using Atom, and a bunch of other information here. All right, so from now on, when we work through our Django project, we'll be using Git, and I'll work you through how to operate it. At that point, I think it'll be a bit easier for you to understand as we work through it. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you next tutorial.